Yeah. So last week so it's been spring cleaning, right? Talking about spring cleaning, and we kind of ended last week with a what do you do if you've tried to do whatever you do to get it to sell and it still doesn't sell. So I'm interested to hear what. I mean, I kind of know some of it, right? Throw it away, donate it. But does anybody have anything kind of creative or different that they do with your, what do resellers call it? The dead pile? Is that right? Yeah. Um, so does anybody have anything different other than throw it away or donate it that you could share that you do with items that you have? Natasha, go ahead.
I think I've already shared this in the past, but some of my death pile stuff, I like to try to bundle it if possible. Sometimes it can be with stuff that, well, most times it's with stuff that does relate, but every now and then it can be with something that kind of doesn't relate. So I'll think of something like say if I'm listing placemats, and it might be that I list it, bundle it with the nice napkin rings and the nice napkins. But I also may do something like um, if I have like some stainless steel kitchen tools, I might put it with that. So that's all I have.
Cool. Tish, if you're talking Tish, you have your mute on.
That would help, wouldn't it?
I know,
Um,
but go
I've
ahead.
also done the bundling. I don't have as good luck bundling for customers as much as I do. I have several resell groups to where I will take all my dead stuff and just get, bare minimum for it, but at least it's gone and I get something and I'll bundle it together like she does. It sort of kind of goes together and do it more by weight than anything. It all fits in the X amount of pounds. Therefore, I can say straight out, this is how much it's going to be to ship it. But yeah, bundling is probably the easiest I found too.
Jen, did any of you guys have to do that this last week or the last month or so? Yeah, I did it. Did it sell? Natasha, for those that don't have video, Natasha's nodding yes. Oh
Sorry. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. I apologize.
no,
Um, I want to actually do. I want to do some more bundling here over the next couple of weeks, actually, just because I just want to try to knock through that death pile. And the other thing is that unfortunately, I'm also lit. Well, fortunately for my business, but unfortunately for me, as far as inventory, I also help other people out with their
okay.
listing. So sometimes that's another thing I do since I'm listed for other people. I sell on consignment. I may get like a nice item that they have that's kind of got like a lot of value, and I put some of my not so high value things in with it as a bundle to help me, both ways.
Yeah, cool. How does that so do you do that? Do you do consignment for friends, acquaintances that you already know, or do you solicit that to get more people to do consignment with you?
Right now, it's just for close friends
Yeah.
because as we say, I wear all the other hats that I wear in life, and including that I'm trying to get my own death pile down so that I can start going to other places and stores.
Sure.
So I do eventually want to open that up as a service once I can build a dream team of staff. So that would
Yeah.
be something that's a long term goal, like a 5 year goal.
Gotcha. Cool. Cool. Now I was just curious. I see Lisa. It looks like she's driving, maybe. Yeah. So we're not going to call on Lisa because she's driving. So, uh, but she's here in spirit. If you can see her. Um, so myself, I have not. I am the perpetual procrastinator. Um, didn't get any of my physical items listed yet. I've been actually my dropship items have picked up enough to where I'm starting to spend a little bit more time getting that going. I'm trying to build the momentum. I had a shop that has been dormant for 3 or 4 months. No traffic. It's had items in there, but no traffic at all. And it's finally just in the last couple of weeks started to pick up traffic and make some sales on it. And so I'm going to get that going in. But what I was doing today and some last night is going through and doing the nuclear blast on my old listings. I hadn't done it in a while, and just really gone through and tidied up my listings. I'm a big believer that, and this is just my anecdotal, just my opinion. I've never read it anywhere, but that your percentage of items that are selling, if it's higher, then your account has a higher probability of being shown to more people. So, for example, if you have 100 items and 75 of those are selling, versus 400 items and 75 are selling. So the revenue is the same, the incoming sales are the same, but to me, I feel, and I don't have any proof of this, but I feel that shows Facebook that I have a higher sales percentage. So I'm not taking up space with items that don't sell. So every once a month or so, I try to go in, and if I've gone through the renew and relist cycle or the renew cycle, I don't use the delete and relist. But if it's just an item that's just not getting any clicks for me, I'll just delete it. I don't even try to relist it or anything, just to keep that percentage a little bit higher. So I hadn't done that in probably 4 or 5 months, I think, well before Christmas. And so I've been doing that the last couple of days. I have, I think, 500 or 600 items that I need to go through, and one at a time. I mean, once I get past the ones that have orders, and it goes pretty quick, but and especially through the activity log. So Taylor, go ahead.
Can you just repeat the first part of what you said you were doing? I guess how you were listening, because I totally got the bundle part because I just started doing that. But yeah, it's the first part. I guess I dropped out at drop shipping. Sorry.
Sure. So what my thoughts are, like, do you mean like what my thoughts are on my profile?
Yeah, I think. Sorry, the clerk was talking to me. No, it was something about what you were doing personally, and especially like the ones that you just don't even relist. But the percentage of your ratio, can you just go over that one more time real quick? Sorry.
Sure. Yeah. So, for example, if I have 500 listings and 75 are selling versus 100 listings and 75 are selling. So the percentage of 100, that's 75% sell-through rate, kind of, versus 500 divided by 75. And so I know eBay, I believe, works on some of this, on that model a little bit, having a higher sell-through rate or percentage. So I try to do the same thing on my profile, on all my, across my shops and personal marketplace. So I'll go through and delete stuff that's not selling. So I'm trying to.
Okay, so essentially you're just making sure that your ratio isn't too, it's kind of like your debt to income ratio isn't too out of whack.
Sure, yeah. So I'll just go in and delete dead weight, because to me, I feel like Facebook may look at that and be like, okay, well, you're taking up 500 listings, but only a couple are selling.
Right.
So I'll just go delete the dead weight out of it.
And then would you relist those maybe another time, or are you just going to get rid of them?
So for me, they're dropship items, so I'm not actually holding the inventory. So I have no stake in relisting those, unless maybe they were a good seller at one point and they stopped selling. Then I would probably relist it. If I was a reseller, I think I would my thought process would be is to completely redo the listing again. So new images, reword the description, and reword the title. Maybe somebody that does that can speak to that a little bit more, but
yeah, or even like sorry, I'm gonna pop in really quick. So with the list to sell ratio, even try other platforms and not just that one platform. Make sure that you cross-posted them on other platforms and get them everywhere, so that it's getting maximum exposure for what it is that you're trying to sell. Sometimes even increasing the price or even reducing it will work too.
Yeah, cool. Anybody else have anything that they've been working on this week as far as spring cleaning goes?
Oh, I guess so. We should mention the bump group thing. That I think.
You mean the bump buddies?
Okay, I don't want to use that term, but sure. It's not awkward at all. 8-year-old. No, I'm kidding. He's heard far worse. So anyways,
We did a
I
full
will
video on
say,
it.
yeah, well, I will say that the we've been doing it for a week now, and I wish I had like, some scientific Bill Nye thing. There's something to it. It's funny because a lot of the things that we are bumping are not the ones that are selling. So it's almost as if it's actually pushing up our entire profile. And this is mainly though for if you have an e-commerce or something like that. But so it's an interesting, it gives us a little bit more insight into how, I don't know, Facebook's mind works. But yeah, it's not even the listings necessarily that we're like, messaging each other about, but ones that, are sitting on our profile. So somehow our profile is actually perhaps what we think in theory, as with everything. So there's something to it. We're still figuring it out. But yeah, so there's something to it that is helping. Just not sure about if you have if you sell through your personal page yet. I don't have enough info on that. But just to mention that.
Cool. Nate, did you have a comment?
Yeah, actually, I can attest to that. It does. All your listings are connected, and even your shop, and like it works the same way as your profile, and the same way as everything else. The more engagements you have on things, drive traffic. So when somebody's commenting on your listings, they're interacting with one listing. All of a sudden, now they're seeing your other listings, and I operate on that principle a lot. So I may list something that I intend to sell it, but that's not actually the main squeeze. I'm actually there's an ulterior motive. I want people to look at everything else I have. So that's definitely a thing, and I can attest to that.
Yeah, I think getting any kind of insight
myself.
is good because we're still all trying to figure out what Facebook like their thinking, how they work, how they operate, so I think that's good that we're starting to get these little tidbits that we can pass on, like you said, so it does bump the whole profile up. So
I actually posted in the main group the other day a blog post from Instagram that they had written, I think in June of last year, and it goes over a lot of different ways that Instagram ranks things, and it's really safe to assume that Instagram and Facebook operate pretty much in tandem since they're owned by they're kind of the same
right.
umbrella and everything. And if you can find that,
I read that. I thought that was really interesting, Nate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Anyway.
really interesting.
I missed that. And I operate under I think that our commerce, I think it's safe to say that what happens on your personal profile, just or even business pages, you put up so for example, I put up a silly, just a silly meme on my business page, and I shared it in a couple of groups that I thought was appropriate, and it got shared, not any, astronomical numbers, but I only have 250 followers on this particular page, but it got shared over 50 times and had a reach of like 5,000 people or whatever. You can correlate, and if you look at my traffic, you can see that I've acquired more followers this last week. And although I can't attribute it to that, but I haven't done anything else to try to get followers. And this is a page that I don't sell a whole lot on. And so that page is being seen by more folks than they're not coming from that that semi-viral so it just goes along that if your profile, whether it's commerce profile, personal commerce profile, business, they're scored, they're weighted, And so if you're a profile that gets higher engagement or higher sell-through rate, it's in Facebook's best interest to show your profile to more people, because they want their users interacting with quality content. They're not going to waste their algorithm to send someone to a crap profile that has bad marks, doesn't ever get good engagement. That's their whole thing, based on keeping people on the system. And that's why I talk about in the main group. You'll see a lot in the main group that I don't recommend banning people. I don't recommend blocking people unless it's obviously there's a real reason for it. And interacting with every message that comes through, whether it's spam or not. I'm not saying have a full-on conversation, but do some sort of interaction with that, even if it's just something vague, because all that feeds into your score or your weight. Lisa, go ahead.
So I was just going to say, right along with what you're talking about, this morning, Marcus and I had a conversation with Tomer, which is the KTAT guy who does drop shipping. He has the products, and he's the actual person who ships them out for you. And he's got about like 90 products. Anyway, when we were talking to him, we're going to do a project, and what's it called? Record it. And basically,
Case study. Yeah.
What he's saying is some of the accounts and stuff that he's taking care of for some other people are selling at about 100 a day, 100 items per day. And they've used the same concept that he uses on eBay, where you're starting with a smaller amount of profit, and then you're increasing on there. A little bit like what Nate was talking about last week on the lost leader thing, where you put something out there for a really great price that's super dirt cheap that everybody wants, and it creates that content that shows the algorithm that you're in, that you're the hot thing. So anyway, it was an interesting conversation that we had, and we look forward to being able to do the experiment on the shops and see if that same concept is going to work from scratch on that too.
Yeah, so the basic concept was start low, start with a low profit margin to build momentum, and then slowly increase your profit margin until where maybe you can see that momentum either plateaus or starts to dip back down a little bit, and then you can tweak it. But I'm not necessarily saying everybody go out and lower their prices to rock bottom, but it's that concept of creating a profile that is a quality commerce profile that people want to interact with.
Exactly.
And Facebook will reward you with showing your profile and your products to more people.
Right.
Did you guys catch the number of profiles that they're approving in the next couple months? I mean, it's hundreds of thousands. Well, this is for shops, not for personal marketplace, but shops, they're supposedly approving hundreds of thousands of profiles in the next couple months, because it's that whole phased approach coming in. So it should be interesting. We'll see how that works out. So Tish, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't see your hand up.
No, that's okay. I just had a quick question about the whole blocking thing. You feel that if we block too many people, it actually has a negative impact on our store, or well, I don't have a store, but our marketplace?
Sure. So again, 100% my opinion, no basis for this. I'm just trying to think like Facebook is if they have statistics on all the sellers, right? And if your block rate is higher than the average or higher than a particular mark, that could be seen as you're not a friendly seller, right? Again, this is just my opinion, and obviously there's totally situations where it's appropriate to block, right? If somebody's abusive or and even annoying, right? They just won't leave you alone. That's totally appropriate. but a lot of times what I see in our main group is it's the spam messages, and they'll instantly block them versus saying one thing back, writing one comment back, and then just ignoring them.
Oh, gotcha. Okay,
You
because
know,
I don't. Yeah, the spammers, I use them as basically a way to keep content, interaction with it. But
sure.
unfortunately, I have these cute little lace socks, sorry, lace no-show socks that somehow attract men to ask me questions for
Block.
pictures, dirty socks, and it's just so I have blocked more men in the last 3 months than I ever thought I would. And I'm like, I'm concerned. Oh, should I, the nice ones that are polite about it, should I not block them and just
Yeah,
treat
I
them as,
don't.
I mean, I always respond and try to keep them talking for a minute or two and then I block.
Yeah, I think that would. I can't personally say that I've had to deal with that situation, but I would block. I think that
I
would be.
haven't, I haven't even thought not to, but now I'm like, okay, maybe the ones that are super nice, I just
And you
respond and
obviously have
ignore.
sales. You have. Uh, it, obviously, we all want more sales, but that's a situation I think would be appropriate. But
I was
I
more
think,
worried that they were affecting me and
yeah,
negatively affecting me by blocking.
and I have no basis for that. That is just my kind of trying to think how Facebook thinks. Natasha, I think Taylor, you were first. Yeah, Taylor, you were first.
First of all, Tish, just no worries, send them my way because I will absolutely exploit and sell them some. Just saying. Didn't say it was a good price. I know Natasha said, "What? Hey, times are tough." Second, no, and there might be something to that, Marcus. But I think it might also be different if one, because we all know if they immediately ask for the phone number, we know it's a spammer. I think maybe that there could be something to that, but I think it also, if you are blocking without reporting, maybe that is something. And because that's one thing I'm always sure to do. I'm always sure to at least report. I don't just block, because what good is that going to do? Like, I mean, annoying people are annoying people. They're everywhere. But if I'm at least reporting, hey, this is, and then they'll ask why, and I'm like, scam.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your feedback, but yeah, I will say I had a new one, and I'm lucky because I don't get one. I don't get the creeps. I don't know what you're doing, Tish. Anyways, just saying. No, but I don't get a lot of spam or scammers. But I do at least, one got further than another, most have ever gotten, quite frankly, because they didn't start out with the regular go-to, so they're switching it up some. And so there was quite a bit of back and forth, and then it was like, oh, okay, you're an asshole. Got it.
See what you're doing.
Yeah, like finally it like clicked. But so you may be right on that, but I think also it's important to at least report. Don't just block, because that could actually have a negative effect. Whereas at least if we're reporting, hey, maybe that doesn't have as much of a negative effect. But again, we're all trying to learn this weird thing out. So who knows? But yeah, that's all I was going to add.
Natasha, thank you, Taylor.
Okay, let me unmute myself. Okay. So about the blocking, could it possibly be with my shop? I just don't get those creeps, so to speak. I've had some things that I listed on my regular page that may have like a picture of me with a shoe or something on that. But even just other stuff like the one how they asked you to send them your cell phone numbers and all that. It seems like with the shop, I don't get that. But as you said, Marcus, I noticed that in the bigger group, it seems like people want to block you over the simplest thing. And I'm like, hey, we're here to make money. Walmart doesn't give you a no contact order just because you pass gas in their line. I just think
not to be too block happy. Exactly. Yeah.
And that's
I told you times are tough. I will put up with something.
Yeah, that's what I try to get across in the main group. And it's funny you mentioned that. So I have received in the last 6 months 2 just 2 people asking for my phone number. And probably the 6 months prior to that, less than 5. I actually put it out to the group to like, there's got to be something that somebody's doing. I thought it was because people listed in groups, but then somebody posted a screenshot the other day, and you can see where the chat originates from, if it's from a group or if it's from a just plain straight up marketplace. I don't know why people are magnets for that. Because males at first I thought maybe it was a male female thing, like maybe they were going towards female names versus male names. But then I've seen some males say that they get just as many. So I don't know. Natasha, did you have your hand up again, or was it up from before? That's fine.
I'm sorry, no, it wasn't the second time. Okay,
No,
there it goes.
Tish, go ahead.
As far as the general spammers, I only get like maybe one a month. I don't get the general. I get the dumb questions that annoy you, but no spammers. But if you want, rude, lewd comments, put up a picture of a woman's foot with a sexy lace sock. You will get all the wonderful, comments that I'd never really had them before. I get the random one, but no, it's the moment I put up those lace socks, I am a magnet for those wonderful people who have no filter.
Thank you.
I think I'm good. Nate, go ahead.
Yeah, I was wondering if maybe I could put a picture of my foot in a cute lace sock and sell some
Go for it.
pictures.
Next to a
I've been
bean.
thinking about it, to be really honest with you. So, just since we're on creeps, it's been really bothering me, and I don't know. Have you guys noticed there's a trend of people that sell clothing that are in them and wearing them and accentuating their body parts in them to sell their clothing?
Damn it! Another thing I'm doing wrong.
Lisa's
yeah, they don't just have flat legs. They actually wear them as opposed to just using a mannequin.
Oh yeah, and it's obvious that it's it's on purpose. It's to drive traffic and to drive views.
Again, I mean, people will. I mean, not everybody has an ethical, stance, or maybe it's just simply, getting in the algorithm or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I don't think it's unethical at all. I
think you got to do what you got to do.
I haven't put it in the main group because I don't think they're mature enough for it, and I almost haven't brought it up here just because it's kind of a creepy thing. But it's something I've noticed. So
I do have a pair of shoes that now y'all are making me think, because they do fit me, and it's like just Lacoste, but they're really nice leather shoes that should have sold a long time ago. Some Lacoste boots, and I'm like, and shoes are hard because you just can't get great pictures of them. I don't know. So I was like, all right, well, I guess I could just put them on, and of course just do, picture of the shoes down, whatever. But
one that never worn.
Well, I know. I feel like I would get more if I said that they have been. No, so that's interesting though. I'll have to let y'all know, because my pictures, they just look weird. It's like, the heels sticking up because it's just sitting on a cardboard box with white over it, so I'll have to let y'all know how that goes. And if not, Tish, I guess it's just you. I don't know, babe.
I know along Nate's line, I've seen quite a few ladies in my body type, average, with their clothes, and I'm like, wow, okay. I mean, it's one thing to see somebody in Taylor's body type showing their clothes off, but when you become a plus size girl and I'm just like, whoa, that takes some guts, but more power to them. I hope it sells.
Tish, don't worry about
it. Y'all have totally different clientele, obviously. This is hysterical. Is this in Marketplace, or are these in groups that you find most of these?
It's on Marketplace, and obviously I've looked at one or two, so now I'm seeing a bunch of them.
Yeah, no, you screwed yourself on that. Once you look up one thing, that's all it's
going to be. I was like, half of it was like, well, this is weird, and I'm always one to look at weird stuff, and then I was like, the marketing mind in me is like, okay, well, that's really smart, and then you look at one, and then all of a sudden you see all of them.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's it. It's interesting though, because it's probably clickbait type thing, and you're probably right. It is just to get somebody to click, because the clicks tend to drive traffic too. The more clicks you get, the more clicks it snowballs. And so
They
they
send
may
you their
not,
OnlyFans after that.
yeah, they may not know that it's working like that, but they're not putting the kind of, analytical mind behind it. Or they do. And I mean, your first picture is key. And I make that mistake a lot, not analyzing my first picture well enough to make sure that it stands out and sticks out and it's a good picture and things like that. Tish, go ahead.
I am shocked at how much interaction. Okay, my husband and I, we've been together for 10 years. Our computers, everything is completely separate. For the very first time, I linked him to my Google, meaning I created Google Sheets, I added him as an administrator to it, and that was it. From that moment on, I am now getting car ads, horrible, I mean, truck ads, because he's looking for a new truck and has been for 6 months. So I am flooded with car ads and barbecue grill ads, and I know it's him. And I'm like, it's just amazing to me how quickly one little link, now suddenly I'm getting everything that he has searched for on Marketplace, on my
YouTube is the
Marketplace.
worst.
And you can see that's actually an interesting. I mean, yeah, they can. It's just ridiculous the amount of stuff. And Facebook is number one Facebook and Google are number one at doing that. But that's how do you utilize that, right? How do you leverage that's going on to sell your item? And that's keyword research. Making sure that your keywords are lining up with what people are searching for. But yeah, I do a lot of I search AliExpress for a lot of stuff just to kind of see where it's at and what prices I can get and see if I can buy it in bulk or not. And I get some weird advertisements on AliExpress on Facebook. Anything that I would post like that would get banned immediately, but AliExpress gets away with it. You can actually see your, I don't remember exactly where it's at. You can see inside your Facebook settings, and it's what off-site, off-platform, how they're tracking you off-platform, and you can turn that on and off. And so it's interesting to go in there and see what data Facebook is tracking, not just from your Facebook activity, also from you're on your phone, it's connected to your phone, from your Google searches, from your Amazon searches, things like that. And I think just understanding that a little bit, now there goes my Amazon Echo. Just understanding that a little bit can be helpful in keyword research and description writing and things like that, and or trending too. Also trending if you're doing your items based on trends. Yes, Taylor, I will. I'll have to find it. I'll have to dig around through it. Let me write it down so I don't forget it. But it is pretty interesting and scary and all kinds of stuff. So, add preferences. I keep it on just so that I know how Facebook is working. It doesn't bother me so much. So, all right. Anything else? Anybody? Robbie, you're quiet in the corner.
It's hard for me to get my mic on very fast. Yeah, I just discovered I have a really huge mess on my personal page. All of my listings are missing. People are that know me are contacting me and asking me why, when they search Desert Rose or any of the Franciscan wear, none of my listings are coming up anymore. And when they go to try to find my over 100 listings that I had on my personal page, they're gone. So that's probably why my sales stopped for a while, a few days ago. Yeah, it's a real problem. So I need to sort that out as soon as I can. But my taxes are done, so that's the bright side.
We can take a look at that. You can go. I just got a sale. You can go. I wish they'd put the little cha-ching notification on your phone when you got a sale. It's on your desktop, but you can look at your activity log and see all of your listings. So that's maybe something we can take a look at. And
Right.
because that's interesting, because I know you had quite a few up there.
Well, one person just contacted me and said, I follow you. You're my prime seller, and I can't find any of your listings anymore. So I'm wondering if the business page usurped my personal page. But anyway, we'll take a look at it later. It's not of any interest to anybody else. But that's what was on my mind at the moment.
It's something for us to take a look at if, something happens and you're not sure why, as a group, it's something that we can all benefit from, I'm sure. So,
well, thank you. I appreciate that. And good day to everybody. Hello. I'm going to mute myself again. Thank you.
We have been working on Robbie's. I'll send it out again because we have it going, and I just turned on Marketplace on there. So, been kind of a case study on my side for working with a reseller of, because I usually do drop shipping, and so we've gotten her page set up, and it was interesting. She was getting Marketplace traffic before Marketplace was even enabled on her page. So we just enabled it yesterday, and traffic's picked up already. So hopefully some sales start rolling in here pretty quick. So anybody else have anything else, not necessarily related to our topic of the month, but anything else? Any bean update, Nate? He's working.
No bean update. It's
No bean update.
It's a slow grog. Let's see. I snuck some of my own merchandise into Walmart. That's the latest.
Yeah. Have you gone back in to see if it's still there?
Yeah. We went and checked on it yesterday, and it's still there. So we're going to go back in a couple more days and check. And if the T-shirt's still there, we're going to move it so that it's like right out in the open. So hopefully it'll get tagged by an employee. And if it does, then we're going to go back and buy the shirt. And we have a whole system set up so that we can get some faraway video and some close-up audio, and I'm going to try to edit it together and do like one of my first kind of a follow-up where we're actually in the store. And and we're in development of a fake department store. I think you know about that too. It's Walmart Stores USA. So that's going to be the umbrella world that all the weird, wacky stuff is going to go into. Is going to be Walmart Stores USA.
What is your what's your click count up to on your two main ones that you did?
We did I'm also, since Crocs are really expensive, obviously we kind of decided that's not a viable option for the future to be able to source on a grand scale and keep the price low on the product, because there's only so much people are going to pay for novelty items.
Yeah.
And I decided $30 is pretty much, I think, where Alex and I were at when we discussed product costs and shipping, and then the markup to make it all worth it and to scale it into something that we could sell nationwide and work out kind of like his Dorito. So right now I'm kind of working on figuring out how I can get the price of my shoe down to $5. So so that we can work on the shipping costs and everything and make it worth that.
Shoes you need to talk to Tish, I think, about the shoes, or was those?
Yeah. So there was an opportunity for other people. If somebody wanted to reach out and we're thinking about this and thought, hey, I think I have an idea. I'm also looking for a soap person, and I'm looking for a 3D printer person, just kind of any other people that would be interested in working that idea. So it's not in money or anything like that at this point. It's just brainstorming and having fun and coming up with an idea. And if somebody comes up with an idea that matches that and they want to sell it, that would be totally fine. And if they make money on it, that's all on them, and that would be great. And if not, then it's kind of that's how these things work.
It's definitely a cool concept to drive traffic, and I know you do.
Yeah.
Your bread and butter is in custom stuff.
Yeah.
And business related, working with businesses and whatnot. And so definitely drive some traffic. Taylor, did you have your hand up?
Oh yeah. Hold on. Where did I go? There I went. Oh,
You're good.
That's not a real thing. Nate, message me after this for ideas and stuff because I have just absurd ones. But I mean, keep in mind, Spencer's that stayed in business for 30 years, if that. I mean, if not more. I mean, there's something to it, and there's very few novelty type, I would say, storefronts now. But hell, look at all the stickers that are out there. Okay, I mean, we know that's a huge thing. The funny little, play on words, the puns, all that. So I think there is room for that. And really, Crocs are expensive. Wow. I'm genuinely, I didn't know. But yeah, just message me after this and see what I can help you with on that. Because yeah, random sources.
Cool. Tish.
Nate, if you want to go sexy bean, I will donate you some lace socks and you can fill them up with beans and get all the great conversation from men you never wanted.
Lisa just rejoined again. Lisa,
it almost makes me sick to my stomach, to be honest.
Welcome to our world, Nate.
Lisa, you might have a little bit of add a couple extra minutes for editing on this video. So
she's like, where did we even come in on? What is this? Sorry, Lisa.
We're sorry, Lisa.
You are back at your desk and you're muted. Do you have anything? I know it's a little easier to talk now than before. You are muted.
You're still muted.
She says she can't unmute herself. That's fine. Let me add you as a co-host. Can you do that now? No. She's stuck in mute land, so.
Mom can't yell at us. Woohoo!
Yeah.
When Mom is away, everybody just gets sidetracked and ADD kicks in.
She can wave. So for next month, and Lisa, give me a thumbs up or thumbs down if I have this right. So we have a couple more weeks or maybe one more week of this month. 2 more weeks actually, but so next month we were looking at bringing in some experts on other platforms. So starting off with eBay and some guest speakers, so to say. Starting off with eBay and then going to Mercari. I don't know the other ones, Mercari and Poshmark, I guess. Maybe Etsy as well. So I'm starting to reach out to some high volume sellers that I know, or not know personally, but know of. But if you guys have contacts with anybody, we'd be glad to reach out to them. I'm going to lose my voice here in a minute. And part of the leverage is the size of our group, our main group. So if it's somebody that wants a little bit of exposure for what they do as well, we have a very big audience on the main group. And our thought process was our group here, obviously you guys pay, so we want to make sure that there's way more value in it for you here, is it would be a live Q&A for our group, and then the recorded part of it for the main group. So hopefully we can get some good. I got a couple of leads going that for eBay. I think that'd be some good information for some of us. I'm sold. I just ate my shirt on selling some baseball cards on eBay. They got a good deal. So, but they did sell at least. So, yeah. So if anybody has a lead on somebody, whether it's a YouTuber or a group or something, pass them our way and we'll reach out and do an introduction and see what we can do. So, Lisa, was that about right? I got thumbs up. All right. So we're going up to about 10 till. Does anybody else have anything they want to chit chat about or share? Tish, go ahead.
Not really a share. I just want to say thank you. I love the idea of having other platform options. I mean, I use a couple other platforms, but some like Etsy and Poshmark I just bombed on and gave up. So I mean, to have a specialist or somebody knows knows something would be awesome.
Yeah, cool. We're going to be plugging away at it. So.
I got it to work.
There she is.
I was pushing the wrong button. I've never done the whole unmute mute thing on this end. Hey guys, Online Sellers Network was actually designed not just for Facebook, but for us to be able to add other platforms on here to help each other grow on the online networks together. So we're excited to be able to bring some of that stuff to you. And thank you, Marcus, for helping out today. That was so impromptu. I know I was 100% planning on being here, and there was a mechanic out in the yard. And I went up and asked him, and I said, do you do mechanic work? And he goes, yeah. And he's like, what's the problem? And I told him what was going on with my car. I'm not kidding you guys. He just fixed something that someone else told me was going to cost thousands of dollars. And I can't believe it. And he just did it in less than an hour. And I ran up to the store. You watched me do it, grabbed some oil and a can of spray stuff, and he fixed the whole thing. I can't believe it. So thank you, Marcus. And I'm excited to re-listen to all this, because so far I think this conversation went a little nuts.
Oh, not too bad. Not too
Nate.
bad.
We're
It is
sorry.
recorded. At least I got it recorded. So
right.
yeah. All right. Well,
I'll remute myself.
if anybody has anything else, happy to stick around. I'll stick around for another 5 minutes on here. Otherwise, I think we'll call it a day. All right. See you guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Marilyn.